I don't know if you know this, but Dungeons and Dragons, it's a pretty complicated game. Now and again, I get hired to run an introductory game for a group of new players. These players are often quite young. I once ran a game for 3 6-year-olds, and they have absolutely no conception of what an adventure looks like, or how to roleplay, or really even what a fantasy world does and does not contain. It is my task, therefore, to teach them not only all of that, but also dice, and character sheets, and Roll20, and how to interact with each other in character, and what's happening in the story, and what initiative is, and the difference between perception and investigation, and what they can do on their turn in combat. It's a tall order, as you can imagine. Now, a piece of advice that I often see about teaching Dungeons & Dragons to kids is not to teach them Dungeons & Dragons. Instead, run them Dungeon World or Quest or some other stripped-down TTRPG to help them get the basics of role-playing. This is theoretically great advice, but in my case, it's impossible. There's always one kid in every group who owns the PHB, or who has a dad who plays, or who otherwise knows just enough about Dungeons & Dragons to be dangerous. They would instantly know that this is not D&D, and the brand name is so strong I've got no choice but to run it. So, how do I handle the sheer information download that these kids need to play the game? I forget, and I fudge, like mad. Can the monk reach the Hobgoblin Barbarian? Sure. Did the Hobgoblin forget to make their saving throw last round? Sure did. Didn't the Paladin need to make an athletics check to leap over the barricade? Whoops. I thought you said that the Evil Druid's AC was 15, not 14. Silly me. You see, what matters is not fidelity to the rules, it's engagement with the game. For the first adventure these kids are ever going to play, they need to feel like heroes, overcoming impossible odds to triumph at the end. Of course, they're going to make tactical mistakes. They'll run away for no reason, incurring a pile of opportunity attacks. They'll spend a round trying to convince the conquering warlord that he's a chicken. They'll choose to simply do nothing on their turn. It's not their fault, of course. They don't know any better. It is up to me to take this pile of hilariously bad choices, disguise how foolish they are, and then puppeteer the combat in such a way that they nonetheless win through in the end. It's a heck of a tightrope to do the foxtrot on, but it is possible. Is that an expression? A heck of a tightrope to do the foxtrot on? Do people say that? What's the lesson here? Even in less extreme circumstances, with adult veteran players, this is still a viable tactic. I do not believe in fudging dice rolls, but I do believe a DM can conveniently forget certain monster abilities, or grant a little bit of extra movement here or there, or edit monster HP based on the tenor of the battle, all to help smooth things over. That's entirely within your power, in a way that I don't think messing with dice rolls really is. What did I learn? You might not control the dice, but you do control everything else about how the combat works. Every once in a while, give your players a break. Hey, thank you so much for watching that video. Trust me, there's plenty more where that came from. If you like the channel, please consider subscribing, and you can even follow us on Twitter and Patreon. Look for the links below in the description. Thanks for watching.